Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is a very special treat. We don't get to do this very often. We are here for the staff show match for Learning Fives. It is the end of March coming into April for the next second session, I believe, for Learning Fives. My name is Bill Jump Carter, and I'm joined here by Mr. Blaster Boy. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, it's been a minute.
It's been I honestly couldn't tell you the last time that you and I popped on a cast together. Do you think you could remember exactly when that was?
Probably the last time we did a throwback cast for L5s, probably at least 6 months ago. It's been a while.
I checked my League of Legends record. I have played 4 games of League of Legends since December of 2017. So needless to say, it's been a little bit, but we are here for the staff show match, guys, for Learning Fives, and it is. I'm not even going to be able to describe what the picks and bans are because, quite frankly, I don't even know what's strong and what isn't. But we're at least going to go down the list and talk about what we have for the staff. We've got Sidecar, Jif, Niberia, Planet Blubber, which is Reese, one of our program directors, Get Me Fed, and then for the red side, it's going to be Meowing Cat, Oscar, Dr. Voisu, Zero to Hero, as well as Cosmic Depression.
Yeah, so I mean, I can go down the bans a little bit. I have been playing and watching LCS and stuff like that. But I mean, most of these are pretty standard. Some of them are targeted bans. I feel like the MF leans a little bit more towards a targeted ban. I don't know about that being in the meta a lot right now. Daria is definitely a targeted ban, but Tom Kench, Olaf, and Vladimir to some extent even are all pretty strong, very meta popular champions right now that you see in pretty much all levels of play as far as I'm aware. And Zach is definitely no exception for that, as the blue side does pick that up.
Now, the interesting thing to note for everybody that's watching at home, this is a very different staff show match than what we're used to. Usually, we have 1 or 2 of the program directors, and they're on each team, and everybody's try-harding and playing on their main roles. Well, this time we decided to kind of switch things up for this throwback cast and put everybody on their off role. So there's not a single player that is playing a role that they play in their own ranked matches. They might have some knowledge from coaching, or just maybe they played it in a past life. But for the most part, they don't really know what it is they're doing, as we see Kasai picked up, as well as the Warwick there in the jungle for the red side.
Yeah, and I'm really, really excited to see a Kaisa here already. I basically only played her. I say
pronunciation?
I say Kaisa. I don't know if that's correct. I haven't checked that.
And on the best part, I don't know what she does. So this is going to be a beautiful play-by-play when I don't know anything that she does.
Basically, to break it down a little bit for those of you who are not familiar, maybe in the chat as well, she's basically an assassin with range. She plays very much like an assassin. She plays very much like Vayne. She's a bit shorter range than Vayne. She only has 525 range, actually, and that's with a range buff. So she is very, very close range, almost melee, but not quite. She plays very, very aggressively and very quickly in a lot of fights. I'm really excited. I played her. I probably got her like 7 or 8 games in a row, like the day of her release, and just spammed her over and over and over. And there were some hit or miss points. There's a build that I have been leaning towards that I'll be interested to see if Zero to Hero ends up playing that here. But I mean, there's also the flex possibility. She is played quite a lot in the jungle. I have seen some people play her mid. Apparently, I think Riot has her listed in the list of champions that are commonly played top as well. So she could really go anywhere. I'm expecting ADC here though. But in any case, on the blue side, we do see Jhin picked up as well as Galio as well. And both of those are pretty stock standard picks. What I want to look out for, if I can just call out a build real quick, is Rageblade Jhin. I want to see if we see that from Panda Blubber this game. It is disgusting.
Now, something to take of note as well as we finish the second phase, or the second ban phase here, coming into this first pick, into that second pick phase, there was the Zaya that was banned away from the red side, which means that they aren't ruling out the possibility that Kai'Sa is going to go in the jungle. Even though the Warwick was picked, and it was something that they said you can see the Tristana being banned away as well. They are making sure to keep all of their options open, which I think is definitely a testament to, Zero to Hero and his very, very powerful 80 carry play, as we might laugh and say. But there's the Yasuo pick. Now, the last time that we had a Yasuo picked up in the staff show match with Voisu playing in it, he went ZZ Rot Yasuo. Is that still a thing, or?
I don't know if I had ever seen that before, nor have I seen that since. So I have no idea.
Spoilers. Don't know if it actually was a thing, but spoilers one way or another.
But in any case, I have no idea. I'm expecting a pretty standard build here. There's no like cheesy tank Yasuo that's in the meta right now or anything like that. We do see Thresh to round out that bot lane, as well as Sion, which with Sion and Galio, you can kind of flip either way. I think it's going to be Galio mid and Sion top right now. Sion mid has been a thing in the LCK for quite a while now, so that wouldn't be terribly surprising, but we do see Soraka round out the red side final pick. And there's a lot of flexibility here. I think it's going to be Kennen top.
Yeah, I'm not going to make any decisions on where these people are going until that timer reaches 0. But you're already seeing in game 1 of this best of 3, 2 very separate team compositions being built up.
Mm-hmm.
You can see blue side, Team Tilted Boys, Team Tilty Boys as they're calling themselves. They are prioritizing that team fight. They're making sure that they stay safe. Whereas you have a much different, more pick style composition coming out for the side of Small Brain something. I don't remember what they ended up naming themselves, but one way or another, they've got two very different compositions. And I'm interested to see what the red side is doing with this pick composition explicitly, because, and you and I have seen this time and time again, it all comes down to what are they able to do in the early game to propel themselves to get that item lead, to push themselves into the pick composition and that mass damage that they have. As we have a last minute swap, and I'm going to let you go into that one.
So we do see the legendary Soraka top being swapped over from Meowing Cat, and he is going top. It looks like he's committed to the teleport. There is room for him to have unsealed spellbook, and maybe they're technically switching it up from the LCS order, but I'm going to assume here that it's Soraka top, Kennen support, not unheard of.
It is. We forced Meowing Cat to go top, even though he is a support player. He is playing top, and so that's where the Soraka is going to have to go. So that is a Kennen support with the Kai'Sa. Now, we've seen Kennen support as a thing back and forth in professional play in previous seasons, but the question that I have to ask you, does Kennen's kit sync up with Kai'Sa in any form or fashion?
I think it really does. Like I said, I mean, I don't necessarily think that Kai'Sa brings the same type of burst or mobility that more typical assassin champions bring to the table, but I feel like her play style requires her to really dive in there and get really, really close to the enemy champions in order to get the most out of her kit, in order to get the most damage. And you'll see her ult. I'm going to save myself from explaining that so you can experience that whenever it comes up.
It's going to be experience.
It's pretty hilarious.
It's going to be an experience for all of us.
The short of it, though, is I think that they line up really, really well. I think Kennen, with a more aggressive play style, syncs up with Kai'Sa really, really well. So I'm really interested to see how this lane works out.
I think we're all excited to see how these lanes work out, as we're rounding up on 70 seconds left for the spectator delay, guys. This is game 1 of potentially 3 in the best of 3 for the staff show match here for Learning Fives. And Brian, could you have believed that, 3.5 years ago or 3 years ago when you came on to Learning Fives, that we were still going to be here in 2018?
No, I had no clue.
That's the wrong answer. That's the wrong answer.
I'm sorry. I'm not as committed as you were to the program when I came in necessarily.
I mean, to be fair, I didn't think that we were going to be last. I mean, we started this program in January of 2014, and we're now at just over 4 years of Learning Fives. Shout out to Sam Bird, Creed, and Osaka themselves, two of the main starters with myself and Ozdoc. And it has been quite a journey, and it's awesome that we can do these events like this and really bring everyone together at the very beginning. You know, they see some of their coaches. A lot of these people in the staff coach as well as are on, as well as work in the upper staff, and getting them that opportunity to play together and to just really show the fun and the excitement that Learning Fives really brings to the table.
Yeah, absolutely. And with that, we are going to go to, I believe, a short break as we wait for everybody to load onto the Rift. So we'll be right back with you guys in a moment.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We did go through that quick little load screen for you guys. We're here for game 1 of the staff show match for Learning Fives. It's going to be Team Tilty Boys on the blue versus Small Brain NA on the red. And just like that, we are getting started. Blaster, let's run down these team compositions a little bit.
Oh man, so we have a lot of tanks on the side of Team Tilty Boys on the blue side of the map here. Actually, might have to hold that thought as Meow and Cat might get caught out here.
Already had to blow his flash. What better way than to throw everybody off their off lanes by putting the support player on that Soraka that already doesn't have any motion in and of herself to blow that flash early.
Yeah, that was really close over the shoulder hook. But back to what I was saying before, we've got a lot of engage on the blue side. A lot of big tanks, a huge front line between Zac, Galio, and Sion alone, and Thresh can even go pretty tanky as well. However, it's worth noting all of the eggs are kind of in the basket of Panda Blubber here, as he is the only really formidable source of damage that this team has to offer. So
you
we're going
could
to
see a full AP Galio. It did get nerfed, I think, at some point, but you never know. With these staff show matches, I think that's the most fun aspect, is you never really know what you're going to get until you get it.
Yeah, definitely. With barring that, though, I feel like that is the more likely situation to just see a lot of focus on Reese here. We're going to see a lot of picks, a lot of aggressive plays from them. So if blue team is able to get this lead rolling, then they are going to be in a fantastic spot. But if they fall behind, that is where we might see their composition really start to struggle.
And already we've seen 2 missed Qs from the Yasuo in the mid lane, and so we're already seeing the proficiency, or lack thereof, rather, with everyone playing on their off rolls.
Yeah, and a lot of poke up in this top side, and it's not really unexpected. You see Soraka, as a support, even sometimes starting Q, going for these really clutch autos, going for a lot of harass and poke, and a lot of times you can't go quite as aggressive as you'd like to. In this case, there is absolutely nothing stopping Meow and Cat from just going absolutely ham on the Sion and just poking him down to where we see now already burning 2 stacks of that corrupting potion and down below half.
Now, another thing that we had see is Oscar tried going into Jif's jungle and stealing off that blue buff, but it didn't end up working out the way that he wanted, considering that It was up too high of health. However, he was able to get the knowledge exactly where Jif is, which gives the opportunity for Cat to continue to push up in the top lane. This is something that we're going to have to remain cognizant of for at least the next 3.5 minutes, considering how early he blew his flash as he throws the silence out. But that doesn't mean that that's going to be it for Sidecard. Throwing off as many auto attacks as he could, but it's not going to be enough, as Cat is going to get away safely, forcing Jif and the rest of the team to walk away.
Yeah, Jif does kind of have to be a little bit respectful of Cat here. He took a lot of harass from that Soraka, from those minions as well. He is able to get out without too much of an issue. He'll heal up off his passive, he'll heal up off that red buff, and he's probably going to be looking for a back pretty soon anyway, so nothing of value really lost there. The silences from Cat so far pretty clutch, canceled the elastic slingshot from Jif as he walked up and looked for that engage. And that was just really convenient ward timing. We still have to be aware. Ooh, Sidecard taken incredibly low.
The flash Q could have come out, but of course that summoner's ability not up, and it is going to force Sidecard back. He's going to use a little bit of XP, but again, being the top laner that he is, will have teleport to be able to get back to the lane. You can see the teleport channeling right now, which does give Cat teleport advantage. Now, I'm not too sure how successful a Soraka teleport to the bot lane would be. However, he is going to have that for any sort of cross-map pressure or an early Drake if they decide to go for that Ocean Drake there in the bot side of the map.
Yeah, and the big thing I'm looking for from this Soraka pick ultimately... Oh, hey, hold that thought.
Voisu going to get himself taunted under tower. Doesn't have to blow the flash. Is able to eat himself off of a minion to make things a little bit easier. But with that health very low, it is crazy. But here comes Jif coming in. You can see the flash play coming out. There is only a level 3 Zac, but he's still going to have to do all the damage on Zero to Hero. But here comes Oscar roaming down for the re-engage, rather. And that's going to be first blood going over SBM, but the chase is still on Oscar. Trying to get an extra damage off to get me fed, but he's going to end up walking away. First blood, red team.
Yeah, and that was a fantastic turnaround gank from Oscar. No time wasted there to make that kill happen. Fantastic punish, and it was on to Reese after he already burned the heal as well, so there was some summoner spell investment there from the blue side trying to keep Reese alive, but it just ended up not being enough, and they burned 2 of their 3 flashes in total as well, in addition to that ignite. So this is, yeah, just a fantastic turnaround to sum it up.
And this is where things are going to start to flow into the favor of SBN, specifically because when you think about the level 6 spikes in the jungle, you've obviously got yourself a Zac and a Warwick. Their level 6 and the lockdown that they provide are super important. And so making sure that he can propel himself to level 6 as quickly as possible, Oscar is going to have a much better time at going for a revisit gank with all the flashes blown on the bot side.
Yeah, and we kind of see the struggle of a Sidecard in the top lane there, where he walks up for the Q, he has it lined up perfectly, but he has to drop it early, otherwise he's just going to get silenced out of it and he gets nothing for it. All the while getting a ton of autos weaved in, those star calls as well. This Scion is really struggling, but fortunately he is Scion, so he'll still be formidable. He's keeping up the farm.
We might have to pause that there, as it looks like you're going to see a 3-man into the top lane. Voisu, though, is going to pick up a nice little spicy kill on Iberia. They tried to get the offset. You had Oscar for support, but it didn't matter as Voisu picks up that kill. Now the top lane, they're going to be battling back and forth. You've got minions, though, in favor of Cat, as well as that corrupting potion. It's going to be damage after damage, and the final auto attack Banana is going to do the kill. Cat takes down Sidecard.
Yeah, and I mean, that was just a full-on engage from Sidecard, trying to desperately make something happen there, but they go, well, can't even talk about that mid-gank yet. Here we go.
You've only got level 4 teleport coming out from Nigeria to try to help himself out. That's going to be a flash death sentence to get it. Voicy's going to find himself too far deep under tower. You've got the teleport coming from Meowing for the support, but that is still going to walk away in favor of the tilted of the TTB rather. Jeez, these names are going to be the death of me for the entirety of this series. But Voicu is going to get himself down a little too far under tower, buddy.
Yeah, a bit of an unfortunate death there, but he did get the kill in the end, so he did make a sacrifice in order to get that kill, to get a bit of a gold lead. And if we look at the gold in the mid lane, I mean, it's only 100 gold right now. It's not the biggest difference in the world. We'll have to see if he can make anything happen, because he has forced Nigeria into buying Ninja Tabby first, which isn't entirely unexpected here, as he has been keeping him incredible. Voicu has been keeping Nigeria incredibly low in this lane so far, as we do go into a pause.
Pause is going to come out and gives us a good opportunity to kind of assess the situation and see where we're at right now. We talked a lot about how the crowd control and the team fighting of blue side is extremely important for their victory and the recipe for success that they're trying to draft up. However, without the items in their pockets, their relevancy is essentially mute. It's because you take a look at the champions that they have. You talked about this at the beginning of the game. You've only got the Jhin as your main damage dealer. You have a very defensive start on the Galio for Niberia. And so without any sort of resources pumped into their AD carry, let alone the rest of their team, finding kills on some members that are already getting fed for the red side, it's going to be very difficult.
Yeah, and the big struggle with this Jhin is, at least in my experience, if this Kai'Sa gets rolling, which I think she's already kind of at that point, 400 gold lead over Jhin without a single kill to her name yet, just a single assist, and a bit of a farm lead at this point. Once she gets rolling, she is a pretty significant hyper carry from what I've experienced with her. So Jhin is going to be pretty hard pressed if he's just dueling 1-to-1 with Kai'Sa to be able to outdamage this. And even with her short range, she's going to have plenty of targets being thrown at her. And once you get through that front line, there's really nothing left to keep that Jhin safe. And if he's not perfectly dealing damage or similarly dealing damage as the Kai'Sa is in the fight, you know, if they're both similarly mobile and free hitting, the Kai'Sa is going to do way more. She's going to shred through these tanks eventually. And she ramps up pretty fast, like I just said. So.
And you also have to take into fact that, yes, you've obviously got a Soraka top, which is, for as meme as it may be, is extremely relevant once you get to the later stages of the game. With the lack of CC that Soraka provides in the top lane, that means that you have to be able to supplement that in other sides of the map as the unpause is happening. And that's what a Kennen brings to the table. I wouldn't be surprised if you see a little bit more AP-driven Kennen to have that kind of mixed damage in with the entirety of their team. You throw the CC of the Slicing Maelstrom that he brings to the table, you mix that in with the sustainability that Soraka and Meowing Cat is going to provide, and that rounds out your team composition in your team fight scenarios a lot better for SBN.
Yeah, like I was mentioning in Champ Select, with that Kennen synergy with the Kai'Sa, another point worth noting, I believe somebody pointed out in chat earlier on, was the fact that Kai'Sa's passive, her plasma stacks, it's a 5-hit passive.
We've got a little bit of damage here. That's going to be the Ignite on. He still has the Death Sentence. It's not going to hum, but the Curtain Call is going to fire. We're seeing 1, we're seeing 2, we're seeing 3 missed. We see the blue pings, but that's not going to end up being a kill, as Cosmic Depression is going to come back alive. He is going to be forced to recall on the base, which is going to give a lot of southern map pressure available here for TTB and damage on that bot lane turret.
Yeah, and we'll have to see how much they're able to actually do here. Jhin, not the best tower pusher in the world, but
Jiff is going to come in. Here we go. This is operation number 2. Voisu, the towers, they hurt, my friend. I'm sorry. You're not going to be able to come out of this alive. Oscar down to 25% HP. He's going to try to smite to get away, but that's going to be the knockup by Niberia. The last auto attack is going to do it, and that's going to be 2 more kills going into side of TTB.
An imperfect combo, but beautiful nonetheless. That kidnap from Jiff was perfect. Exactly what they needed. The hero's entrance, not really doing all that much to Voisu, aside from getting that last hit. Totally fine. Still CC'd Oscar as well. That is a glimpse of some of the engaged potential that we're going to see here as Jiff looking top.
He does not have his passive available, so he needs to be a little careful. Niberia is coming back towards the top side. The double buff does a lot of damage, even though he's only got... Oh, we're going to have to pause this Kai'Sa. Kai'Sa, you little new character that I don't know is going to try to repositioning. Cosmic Depression is only level 5. He does not have Slicing Maelstrom available, and Panda Blubber is going to have all the damage on the bot side. Now it's Oscar's turn. He is level 6. He's going to Fear Side card onto the way. That is going to be Meowing Cat getting the final E. Lots of damage with the AP stacking that he's doing. That's going to be a second kill for the top lane. Oscar's going to go back to his jungle, and it's just fights all across the map. First couple didn't see much. Now everybody's getting themselves involved.
Yeah, and I mean, I touched on the engaged potential of the blue side very early on. Never really was able to get around to talking about the red team as we see Oscar BMing just a little bit. Well, actually, Jiff getting invaded here.
He's going to have a little bit of damage. Still doesn't have that left available. But now we're going to see the fights and skirmishes in the top side of the jungle. You still have double buffs on Iberia. If the hero's interest decides to come out, might be able to get a knockup, but instead the 3 members here for TTB are just going to decide to back themselves off as look at what we have for that first item Soraka in the top lane, my friend.
Twin Shadows made the triumphant return.
Twin Shadows in a while.
Yeah, well, they deleted the item from the game for a bit and baked it into the active
didn't even know they took it away.
They baked the active into Frost Queen's claim, and then they removed Frost Queen's claim from the game. So, if in case you're a little bit out of the loop here, since
I don't know
December,
if you know this, but I haven't played League of Legends in a while. So, out of the loop is a fairly safe statement that you could say. A little bit of tango on the top side, voice to Niberia. That is still a lot of damage as Zach is going to come in. Not going to get the knock up as a nice little tornado getting thrown out by Voisu is going to push him away. Sidecard struggling to get himself kills in the top lane and gets meowing. But to be fair, he has that. As now we're going to see the double man knock him, slicing Maelstrom. There's the level 6 for the cannon. Oscar's going to get the nice little chomp for the second kill. And Voisu is going to finish off Niberia, and that is going to be a 2-for-1 in favor of SBN as well as an Ocean Drake to call themselves theirs.
Yeah, and that was a really solid fight from them. A little bit of an overstep from Panda Blower, I would say. He got caught out a little bit far up, didn't have the flash available, didn't have the heal either. There was no way out of there for him. As now we see Sidecard getting poked out by Meowing Cat again. Twin Shadows.
He's going to get the slow. Meowing Cat might be able to get enough. He might be willing to dive here. There's the knockup by Sidecard. Oh, is he going to be able to get this? He's forced to ult as well as throw himself a flash out. So Meowing Cat tried to get himself a little spicy, but a nice effort by Sidecard to tell him to back the hell off and reset that wave.
Yeah, and while that was a pretty aggressive play, Meowing Cat still did lean more towards the side of caution there, flashing away, making sure that he got over around that corner, but he couldn't get hit by that Scion ult, because that is a really good way to completely lose your lead by dying there. So you definitely don't want to take that risk if you can help it. He went like 80-90% of the way, but then backed out at the last second, which I think was the better decision. So we will not see that very significant change in that lane. Honestly, that was only close because of how aggressively Meowing Cat tried to play that, because of how greedy he tried to get at the end there. So I don't think we're going to see very much of a difference going forward, and those Twin Shadows still going to be doing work in that lane.
They are indeed. As now we're seeing the curtain call come up. It's going to be 0 to Hero taking lots of damage, forced to flash out, but the death sentence is going to write death for him as he's going to end up getting walked away. But here comes a slicing Maelstrom to help everybody out. The reboot, Meowing Cat, Oscar, and the rest of the team are here to party, as they're going to do everything they can to force TTB to back off and reset the waves, as we're now at 13 minutes 45 seconds. It is going to be a 1-for-1, but a great rotational effort there by Meowing Cat.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, that could have been a huge turnaround if that wish was available, but since he had to use it in the lane before to keep himself alive, that was simply not the case. But we are going to see a huge amount of impact from that Soraka once that wish is available, getting into some of these team fights later on. And even that was not an insignificant amount of healing, nor CC damage in that fight. So looking forward,
you also have to take a look as well as what do you lose when you have these skirmishes in the mid lane? Because obviously you think about what separates the good teams from the great teams. Obviously, we're not calling neither of these teams such because they're playing on their off roles. However, you do have to take a look at what are you able to pull from these skirmishes on the next step. You saw a little bit of damage from Sidecard in the top side, but more importantly, it was half the inner turret being taken from Dr. Voisu in the bot lane. And that southern map pressure that they're going to be able to push is going to be a lot more beneficial as we get closer to that 20-minute mark and Baron being on the menu.
Yeah, definitely. It's absolutely something we have to look at. And I mean, we have to even consider the potential pressure that you can get by pulling people bot with Herald available. Herald has been a hugely impactful objective this season. They made a couple changes to it, I believe, going into the preseason, if I recall correctly. And regardless of the reasoning, Herald has been incredibly popular and effective.
Here we go again. Kaisa, you're a new champion, but I haven't seen you off that death timer quite often. Barely going to get away, about 15% HP. Oscar's going to come in for the support. But this is just again and again TTB doing everything they can. Slicing Maelstrom's going to come out. That's going to be very low health bars is you're going to see the Ignite come down on Iberia. He's going to go down to the cannon. Jiff's going to be forced to back away as well. And so what seemed like a very aggressive maneuver here by TTB is going to get shut down by SBN with a kill, as well as his first inner turret. Middle turret.
And a huge turnaround, but here comes
no.
Jiff again. Oh, no.
Oh, I don't think you want to do this, buddy. That's going to end up popping the passive. Thresh is going to be there for the help. Oscar's going to get
TP
into the tower. Oh, barely going to have enough. It's going to be able to pick up the kill, but that's still going to be a 1-for-1 trade. Sidecar coming in to help out. Jiff going to go back in as well. He's going to try to pop that ultimate. That's going to end up being a double kill, but the same's going to be said for Zero to Hero. Voisu in the meanwhile is going to get himself a backline kill, and now it's Sidecar versus Zero to Hero, but look who's coming in for the reply. Niberia. That death timers are still very low, so he's going to come in and force the back off, but still, fights here at the 16-minute mark.
And I think this is really where we're seeing Kai'Sa shine to some degree, or the skirmishing ability, the freedom that she's able to find by using that ult defensively. And we can't see the AoE in spectator mode, unfortunately, but basically, when Kai'Sa has somebody marked with her passive, with any of those plasma stacks underneath them, she can dash to them from pretty far away. I don't know exactly what the numbers are on the range. It's kind of like a Nocturne ult range. And she can dash, as long as the champion itself is within the radius, she can dash anywhere within a pretty large area around them. So we saw that being used defensively there. Gives her a shield as well. Great use from Zero Hero, ultimately keeps him alive. And, I mean, it doesn't quite work out in their favor, as it is was it a 2-for-2 in the end, I believe? Something like that. It was a pretty crazy, chaotic fight.
What they do still have, though, is they're still building themselves a gold lead. You saw the top turret being taken not too long ago. They're up about 6,000 gold at 17.5 minutes, which at the 17.5-minute mark, I'm unsure of, where they're separating the mid game at in the current meta. But regardless, 6,000 is a very solid place that you can be at. As you can see now, blue side doing everything they can to get that final top turret. The last auto attack is going to do it. And so the Banner of Command coming out from Cat is going to stop a little bit of those auto attacks. But regardless, you saw the composition that we wanted to see here from Red Side, and they're doing a very good job at getting themselves to the mark. As now, cheeky little flash by Cat, he's going to get away safely.
Really, really smart flash there from Cat. He could have just run up the lane, but that would have been a huge, huge risk. Very intelligent flash there from Cat, able to get himself out safely. And the banner rush, I mean, not unexpected. It's pretty common right now. Banner is incredibly popular at the moment.
Now I know I don't play this game anymore.
But you should have seen Scion mid is a thing. I believe.
But what's the build for that? Is it still
Banner
tank
rush,
Scion?
Banner rush, and then full tank.
Oh no, Voisu's gonna get caught in the jungle trying to do everything. You're not gonna be able to beat a smite, bro. It's not gonna be your best ever. You're gonna have a taunt, a knock-up, an attack. You're still getting heals, the ultimate from Cat coming out, as well as a teleport here. But they're going in one by one. I don't think this is what you want to do, SBN. That's going to be another kill, but you're going to see Kasai picking up a cheap kill on the backside. He's going to have lots of damage on Iberia. Now you've got King for support. A nice stun from Panda Blubber, but just like that, what seemed like an immediate disaster for SBN, they're still able to pick themselves up a kill, and more importantly, a kill into the hands of the carry.
Yeah, still not the best trade for them, though, as they do still lose that trade 2-1 in the favor of the blue team. So, not the best decision that they've ever made, but still definitely not the worst. Zero to Hero a little bit slow, unfortunately, on that fight. But when he gets there, he is incredibly impactful. We're seeing the Kai'Sa really shine here in these skirmishes, like I mentioned before, after that mid lane fight. And with this Death Dance first, she's going to be able to go for these trades and just chase people down and just take the fight right to whoever she really wants to and see what she can do from there. But we do see the Herald being picked up. They've got to go kind of fast here, but they're very close. They're going to get it. 10 seconds to spare before the hard despawn.
And this is where things are going to start to get scary if you're Team Tilty Boys right now, because you take a look at the gold discrepancy. You've got about 50 gold. You've got about a 50 minion discrepancy in both the mid as well as the bot lane. You've got the kills that were been popping on the Kai'Sa. You can already see the damage that he's pulling on a Panda Blubber. It's going to be immediate, and just like that, it is going to blow his flash, but it's still going to pick himself up attack. Voisu, meanwhile, getting caught out again. He's going to try to get himself an ultimate, not going to be able to get enough. Get Me Fed will survive. that final showing. But if the members of SBN can get themselves in a little bit of a better positioning and not get caught out, then the little picks that they're getting are going to entirely help what they're wanting to do.
Yeah, Team Tilty Boys definitely need to keep an eye on this Kaisa, though. They need to make sure that Reese is not left in the side lane solo too often in a position like that, because the Kaisa will be able to exploit that. All you need to do is auto someone once to proc your passive, then you can chase them down pretty much anywhere as long as you have vision. She's going to be able to stick to you, especially just as a Jhin, even through the flash, especially in that case without the flash. This is going to be just solo kill after solo kill if Reese is continually left alone in the side lane. We do see that bot tier 2 fall. I do want to bring attention, a mid tier 2 as well actually, but I do want to bring attention real quickly to Meowing Cat having a 9-stack Magize right now.
9 stacks at 21 and a half minutes. 2-0 and 5, still sporting a very solid support score as it was in the top side. However, you do have to give credit to Sidecard on the top side. Even though he's 0-2 and 2, the 2 deaths that he got were severely unfortunate, but he's been able to keep up in CS. Anytime you're in a losing lane and you're able to at least keep up from a gold efficiency on CS appropriately, you're still going to find yourself in a better setup. You can see he's got the Abyssal Mask, as well as the beginning pieces of the locket, and now he's wanting himself some revenge blood as the damage is coming out, and it's going to be missed skill after missed skill. It's going to force him to back off. His Meowing Cat does want to try to get a little frisky. He has lots of minions to help himself out. That's a lot more damage than I think you were hoping for, Thresh. It's easy to be forced to back away. Whew. Don't know about that one, buddy.
Work, it's too far away from us. I didn't see the kill message, but they just took Baron on the top side while that was all happening.
Surprise! I mean, anytime you can get yourself to send 2 members down, especially if you're a Soraka, life is going to be much easier for you. As now it's going to be attack, attack, attack on a side card. Don't think you're going to be cutting down trees anytime soon, Mr. Zombie Lumberjack, as he's going to go down. It is going to force a flash out of Oscar, but regardless, they're going to get themselves a kill. Not necessarily the tower just yet. Cosmic Depression is going to come up to try to get themselves some help. That's going to be a death sentence. I don't think the Thresh is going to follow up with it, but that's still going to be a dead top inner turret here as Dr. Voisu is going to try to get himself a little bobs and weaves in. The damage, they can still push onto this. They've got the heals. They've got the ultimate not available for Meowing Cat anymore, but you still have the lifesteal available onto the Warwick. They're pushing down the top turret. You can see the turret. The minions being pushed down on the bottom side of the map as well as a wave. That's going to be Jif going in. You can see the Niberia. He wants to come in and join the crowd. Descent's going to go down on the 80 carry. That's going to force out the defensive ultimate coming out of Cosmic Depression. It's going to be attacks all around, and it's going to be the trades. But the side of SBM are the ones that are coming out on top. It's going to be a kill, 2 kills for their bot lane. It's going to be one last auto attack from the turret. Is going to take it down. The channel coming out of the teleport is going to be in, but all the while you see the pushing on the bot side from Meowing Cat. He wants to continue to do damage and help out. Sidecard is going to get himself off a nice little piece, probably going to be able to pick up the skill. Oh no, but the stun does not matter. It's going to be the triple kill coming out of Sidecard. You're going to have the teleport channel being done by, I believe that was Meowing Cat. I don't think that was exactly what he wanted to do, but all the while he still got himself a bot turret. He's going to be able to get a little bit of extra damage on to this bottom inhibitor. But wow, that was messy.
Yeah, that was an incredibly messy, chaotic fight. And again, the Wish not available for Meowing Cat from what I can tell. Let me see what the cooldown... Yeah, 101 second cooldown, so definitely wasn't used in that fight since it is almost back up. Soraka is definitely doing work in these side lanes. What a crazy fight it would have been.
Where's my replay? Where's my instant replay for this one? That would be
the technology just isn't there yet, unfortunately.
All the while, it was still a crazy fight, and you're still now sporting an 11,000 gold lead as well onto the side. But Niberia, he wants to try to get some freaky footwork. But the freaky footwork is, oh no, it's going to go down in the hands of Sidecard. He's able to pick himself up, no smite, no problem. Oscar not able to pick that up, and now we're going to see Team Tilty Boys trying to do their best to change the tides of the turns of the battle. That was definitely a word flub, and I have no idea what I was trying to say there, but it doesn't matter. Just going to go in and get himself down. But here comes the Kaisa on the reboot. She's going to join the battle. That's going to be 2 kills for her. Make that number 3. No triple kill. Oscar's going to steal that away, but what seemed like, again, a Team Tilty Boys situation turns over on its head as the carries join the battle.
And we really see this Kaisa popping off now as Niberia going to get chased down.
Do it. Yep.
Oh,
Goodbye.
Snipe as well from the Kaisa. 0 to hero, doing so much work. That looked like a really sketchy fight for a minute there for the red team, but they end up pulling it out in the end. 0 to hero, able to get that max range ultimate in, still arrive to the battle a little bit later than it maybe they wanted, but still nonetheless on time to be effective, are going to push through the mid lane.
What's more important is Meowing Cat died, lost Magi stacks, now he's at 7.
Yeah, and we're seeing a very interesting build from him here.
Oscar.
Oh, no.
Death sentence was just too much, wasn't able to run away. That's going to end up being the 5, 4, and 10 stat line for Oscar, still being able to keep himself up, but an inhibitor in the mid lane, which as we know is extremely important and is definitely going to put SBM in a pretty good spot.
Yeah, and I mean, if we consider
Shirelius is back?
Yeah, Shirelius is back. Shadows is back.
What is this game anymore? Am I back in season 3?
I'm just waiting for them to add Heart of Gold back again. The ultimate throwback. No, but yeah, Shirelius is back in all its glory. It has the same old active that it always did. So here's what they did basically. A rough rundown.
Give me the 101. I need the 101 for this one.
Shirelius and Twin Shadows in particular were both removed from the game because they ended up rolling those actives into the Talisman of Ascension, the coin, tier 3 coin item, and then also the Frost Queen's active as well. So it basically just rolled those items into items that were basically more useful for the game. Well, at the beginning of the season, towards the beginning of the season, they removed Sightstone from the game, and they rolled Sightstone instead into those support items. So all those actives are gone, so they needed to add them back. So they just added Twin Shadows and Shirelius back with, in the case of Shirelius, with some new artwork. Steve Boishu, I completely butchered that name, but he is getting completely shredded here.
Yeah, I
don't even know.
Sorry, I didn't even realize. I'm looking at the scoreboard. I'm reading new items, trying to figure out what is this game that I'm playing anymore. But it's going to be TTB joining back into the fray. It's going to be a 2-for-1 in favor of TTB. You've got Baron spawning in a minute 11, so that's still going to be perfect amount of time for both of these to get to it. And sporting themselves a 13,000 gold lead at 28 minutes. This is where you start to have to worry if you're Team Tilty Boys.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, we're going to see this big push in the top lane. They don't even have to really worry about bot lane all that much because, I mean, Meowing Cat can pick that up later if he really needs to, or this Yasuo can go and try to split again. Regardless, they're going to try to push for this top inhibitor turret because that's really the only thing standing between them and being able to pretty cleanly walk into this base without much of a risk. Pushing for those inhibitors is definitely something that they'll want to do because I wanted to mention this before, but anytime that the red team is able to pick off a kill, I apologize, I completely forgot their team name at this point.
Team Tilty Boys and Small Brains NA.
Small Brains NA. Okay, Small Brains NA on the red side. Whenever they're able to get a pick, which their team is very good at, they are in a fantastic spot to take down turrets because they really struggle with sieging with this short-range ADC. But one thing that they can do is they can force and engage. They can force and engage under tower. They can get picks elsewhere. And from there, then a little bit of control has to be conceded.
Oh, here we go. It's going to be the Lumberjack. He wants to come in. What is he cutting down today? Nothing quite yet, but he's doing a great job of being onto the front line. You've got a triple ultimate coming out.
No.
And this is going to be the stacking that they were looking for, the team fight that they have. But do they have the damage to follow up? No, they necessarily don't. You got Kasai be able to pick themselves up a kill. That's going to be 2 for Kasai. That's going to be 1 coming into Voisu. A triple kill coming in, and this is the problem that you were talking about, the lack of damage. Every ultimate synced up the way that they wanted, but it ended up being SBN that pulls himself out. That almost ace, that 4 for 0 in their favor.
Jiff, like, low-key how to sabotage his team in there.
I think it's high key. It was definitely visible to the world, so I think it's safe to say high key.
The ulting cannon into 3 members of his team, and unfortunately Reese not able to do the work that he needed to. This Team Tilty Boys so relied on for their team composition to really work out. That is going to be the end of the game. About 30 minutes in. Pretty clean game overall. I feel like we really saw Small Brains NA identify what they wanted to do. They wanted to skirmish, they wanted to push, they wanted to get picks. They won a lot of their lanes, and they were able to get pick after pick after pick, push objectives, take advantage of the Soraka being super annoying, and just turn this into a pretty quick victory. This 12-kill Kaisa was a huge point of contention, a huge point of power for Small Brains NA. So I wouldn't be surprised if that pulls the ban next game, but great execution from them overall, I feel.
Yeah, there's lots of things that the members of Team Tilty Boys are going to have to fix for Game 2. It is going to be a side swap. They will put themselves on the red side coming in for Game 2. Lots of things to fix, guys. We'll talk about it after the break. We're going to take a short little thing so I can breathe and maybe read up on some patch notes and figure out what's going on. My name is Jump. I'm joined here with Blaster. I will see you guys in a couple seconds.
It's innovation. We taking off like we in a spaceship. You are now experiencing greatness. 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 Yeah. You are now experiencing greatness. Yeah. 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 Let it rock. Come out. Come out. Let it rock. Yeah. 1, 2. This the show shot. So high, keep it cracking like it's the dope spot. Fuck the evil corporation, it's Mr. Robot. Music got 'em moving now, this is a show shot. Who's your competition? Get loose as a wet noodle. Got 'em dancing on the Lancey as fancy as pet poodles. Got 'em downtown swinging like dance. A little fame. Send my enemies back to the essence from which you came. What inspired you? What is it you trying to do? Somebody told you you should probably give it up, they lied to you. Never aspire to the average or the mediocre. Let the greatness inside of you take over. Stockbroker or an activist, a soldier or a pacifist. Life a chain reaction, you a link or you a catalyst. Walk in the house of God, your house of cards starts collapsing. Fashion killer higher than Phyllis and Ass. Fuck titles, you provoking a reaction? Are you slow or are you fast, man? Are you smoking or you passing? You wishing or you hoping? Are you open for some action? As serious as heart attacks, man? Am I joking? Am I...
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to game number 2 of the Learning Fives staff show match. My name is Bill Jump Carter. I'm joined here with Mr. Blaster Boy. Are you ready to go, buddy?
Oh yeah. Last game was pretty action-packed, honestly. I feel like a lot of the fights kind of went back and forth. There were a lot of picks on both sides, and not too many objective trades, really, but there were just constant fights, constant skirmishes, back and forth. Everybody trying to make something happen, trying to find their team the victory. And we are going to see the first couple bans here. Kale is actually the first ban for Team Tilty Boys this time, which is a little bit of a pivot.
The best part about this, too, which is something that we have to make sure that the world knows, is we set those special recommendations. We set these special rules now onto these, or for this series specifically, stating that you weren't allowed to play the same champion twice. So that top Soraka that everybody is loving, you don't get to see anymore.
Gotcha.
And so because of that, it's going to make things a lot more fun, just explicitly because you're going to see completely different team compositions as well as champions from everybody else.
Okay. I actually wasn't in the loop on that at all, so that's really interesting.
You really need to start reading the chat.
Yeah, I really should, I guess. Well, there's Kaisa again.
All right, so it is Kaisa. So that means that Zero to Hero doesn't have to play can't play Kaisa. So she's going to either Oscar in the jungle, Voisu, or maybe Meow and Cattle player in the top lane, which would be twice as terrible.
Yeah, it should be interesting. I'm very interested to see which role she ends up going into, if not that ADC role. So Corky picked up as the first pick, very likely going mid for Nigeria. That's still a thing. Hasn't really changed. He's kind of fallen out of favor to some degree, as far as I can tell. But if he is picked, it's still usually in that mid lane position. That definitely still seems to be his primary position. We're going to see a Rammus. Oh man, you don't see those every day.
Hey, we're going back to season 3. We've got Corky, we've got Rammus. It's gonna be a fun one. I'm terrified. We've got a Hecarim. Yeah, we're definitely doing the throwback. Kaisa, you need to get out of here. This just isn't the place that you need to be. It's gonna be. Oh God. Yep, Hecarim's coming out.
Kaisa's just Project Vayne as a champion. It's okay. She doesn't. That's also throwback, right? She just counts as Vayne with a skin.
I mean, maybe, probably not. Yeah, no, definitely not.
It was worth a shot. But yeah, we're going to see a Hecarim. So this is going to be a very interesting game, a very interesting set of picks here. There is a Jhin picked up as well, so definitely not Kaisa ADC.
I would not be surprised if it's Kaisa top lane. That is my bold prediction, Cotton. Kaisa is going to be going to the top side of the map. No idea what summoner spells are going to be, but it is pretty sure an option, especially with the harass that it can create. Lucian being picked up now, so we're already seeing double 80 carries on both teams.
Yeah, it should be really interesting to see how this pans out. I cannot get that word out today for some reason. Lucian, not really in the meta right now. I'm really curious to see how likely Reese is going to be able to do with that. It could be Lucian top. We could see a triple ADC pickup from Team Tilty Boys, technically. But Lucian top is still a thing. Hooney's back in NA, you know. People are picking it, going around. They just... Okay, no, I thought they straight up skipped the ban there on the side of Small Brains NA, but they do get that Shen ban in there at the last second. They are trying to limit... I mean, Shen, I could see being pretty problematic for the Kaisa, honestly. If she gets hard engaged on by that taunt with that Spirit's Refuge and such, it's going to be a tough fight for her, blocking all those autos, not letting her move around freely and be able to really kite and try to skirmish like she wants to. I can definitely see a world where this is Kaisa top and that being a very viable ban to take away from that champion.
Looks like a Blitzcrank is going to be the final ban for Phase 2, as now Team Tilty Boys gets themselves an opportunity. Remember, we did have the lane swap. Team Tilty Boys is on the red. You've got Small Brain and A going to be on the blue. And this is a best of 3, so there is an opportunity for SBN to get themselves back, tie themselves up at 1-1, and to create something very crazy for potential Game 3 as they Karthus comes out now. What is this team composition? Because it does not make sense. It does not make sense. There is no... I'm not even... Yeah, you're the color caster. I'll let you... I'll let you do this one.
All I was going to say was this is looking like Small Brain NA's comp last game, where I'm not going to make any assumptions until we see where these swaps land and that timer hits 0. So I don't know where this Karthus is going to go, because I thought it was going to be Corki mid and then maybe Lucian ADC. But it looks like it could be Karthus top. Karthus top is a thing. People play that. But regardless, a safer bet is that this is Azir going mid to Voisu on the side of Small Brain NA. And that is a pretty cool pick. I like Azir a lot. I always have. Oh my gosh, did that really just happen? It didn't block. Somebody dodged. What? I don't know what happened. Technical difficulties. Stand by.
Hello? There was an oopsie and pick ban I'm getting reported to. Reese thought he had a champion in which he didn't. Karthus was a panic click.
Random apparently.
So, okay. So, all right. They're just going to do it. I'm just going to let them...
right back in there.
For the most part, I'm just going to let them do it and see what they got.
Okay, so the Karthus not being an intentional pick, I mean, that doesn't really clear up anything, though, because I could see where that could have fit with the comp. Maybe
no, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. No, you're reaching. You're reaching for a goal that doesn't exist.
I think Karthus... I don't know that any other champion would have cleared that up anymore, honestly. I feel like Karthus top was a pretty reasonable bet, honestly.
Yeah?
Maybe that's just bias. I don't know.
Fired. Wait, fire you if you don't work for this anymore?
I don't think so. No.
I think it is. I think it is. I can just hire you just to fire you again. All right, so we're gonna blow through the bans. we're gonna blow through the first phase again. It's gonna be the same everything up until the Karthus pick, and then after the Karthus pick, then we're gonna get back into the fun stuff per se.
Yep. Yeah, so I mean, pretty standard bans again. The Kale is a little bit of a shift, like I was saying at the beginning of last pick ban, which since I didn't know about, didn't make a lot of sense to me since I didn't know about that rule of not being able to pick the same champs twice. But I mean, yeah, Kale can be pretty annoying. I feel like she's probably pretty strong right now, actually, since they just changed Rageblade again. And now it gives percent bonus AD. I believe it's percent bonus AP. I don't know how the AP scaling works. I think the AP scaling is pretty much the same, but it's percent total attack speed now instead of bonus attack speed. So it gives a lot of attack speed, a lot of AD, a lot of AP still. That little bit of a rework. We've seen a bit of a shift, and I hope we see the Rageblade Jhin this game because it gets pretty stupid. For those of you not in the loop,
Essence, aka me.
Essence Reaver, well, you, but also chat. to. There might be some people in chat because I got flamed when I started building when I built Rageblade on Jhin the first game because I thought it was a pretty popular thing, but a lot of people hadn't heard of it apparently. In any case, total attack speed and bonus AD stacking, it might even be a little bit bugged on Jhin apparently with how it works with his passive converting all those stats into more AD. But the short of it is, with full build, you get about 11 or 1200 AD with full Rageblade stacks. So you will just pop people from half health or 3/4 health if it's an ADC or an assassin that hasn't built tanky at all. You'll just completely destroy people, shred people. I had like 700 and something damage on my traps, for example, and like 750 damage on my W at one point when I built it a few days ago. So that's an Echo. That makes a bit more sense with the flexibility. I can see that going top. So I guess that was the top pick ultimately for sidecard. Regardless, I still think the Karthus top could have made sense, but the Echo definitely makes a bit more. We will see where that goes, as this is still a pretty flexible team composition overall, and we will see a Veigar coming out, likely for Voisu.
Oh, I love
really excited.
throwbacks. I'm so excited. I can actually cast this because I know what these guys do. Makes me now the builds are going to be completely wrong, but I mean, something is just gonna have to give for it. Is we're gonna have the final pick here for SBN. They have, I don't even know what positions they have. I'm just gonna wait and kind of figure it out and see. It's gonna be the Karma as well as the Vel'Koz. Oh, buddy, this team composition.
This comp still doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
So you've got
support Vel'Koz, I guess.
You've got Corki Vel'Koz support. So Corki Vel'Koz is a legitimate lane, and it's disgustingly terrible. Kasai support, don't know how that's going to work out, mainly because I don't know how Kasai works, but it's a Karma top lane, which is a very interesting pick. It kind of plays, JK. All right.
Well, it keeps swapping back and forth.
I give up. I give up. I'm done.
Just before you called that out, they swapped it. So I think we're going to see the Kaisa top with Karma support, but remains to be seen. There's still 15 more seconds. They could swap it again. But when it comes down to it, I guess the team TTS, their bot lane is really the only really surprising thing to me, I suppose.
Not TTS, we're not text to speech.
No, not TTS. The TTB. Sorry, it was close. I was close.
All right. So
anyway,
all right, let's dive in this for a second. Kasai, Hecarim, Veigar, Jhin, Karma. Kasai, I don't know. Don't. That doesn't matter. I'm writing you off. Hecarim, great. Rammus, the Hecarim Rammus matchup, definitely interesting. Hecarim obviously has a little bit of the extra damage early, and then has the insane amount of utility that his ultimate brings. But it's going to be, because both of these champions have a speed up, it's going to be very important to notice how reactive they're going to be on their rotations, because they're going to be able to join the fights a lot quicker than what a normal jungler is. And so that's definitely going to, I think, add a whole nother kind of loop to the whole menu.
Yeah, definitely something worth taking note of. This mid lane is going to be really entertaining, I feel like, because even though Veigar will take a little bit to scale, as he's stacking up that AP and everything, as we see this Echo trying to skirmish with him, you have to have a lot of respect for the burst damage coming off of Veigar ult, and of course the rest of his kit as well. He hits really, really hard as he starts to stacking up that AP and everything. So Nigeria is going to have to play pretty safe, but he's also going to want to be able to go in and try and put this Veigar behind, try to make something happen there. Again, like you just said, with both these junglers being able to basically go from 0 to right behind you in about 3 seconds each, it's going to be really interesting to see if this ends up being an aggressive lane either way, and seeing how this kind of pans out. Bot lane is really weird to me. Jhin Karma not so much, but the Corki Vel'Koz still really sticks out, as I haven't seen a Corki ADC in a really long time, at least as a regular marksman in the bottom lane. The Vel'Koz will be really interesting as well. I think that's kind of gaining popularity right now. But top lane, that's just going to be nuts. The skirmishing potential of Kaisa and Lucian, especially seeing them face off against each other, is going to be, I think, really fun to watch, if nothing else. So I'm definitely going to have eyes there for quite a lot of this game. I'm really interested to see how this all pans out for both of these teams.
Well, we're going to get an opportunity to do that in about 25 seconds plus the load time. Guys, this is game number 2 of the Learning 5 Staff Show Match for the March 2018 season. My name is Jump. I got here Mr. Blaster Boy. We will see you guys on the other side. All right, everybody. Surprisingly enough, in this team has pretty decent computers, so we didn't have to wait too long on that load screen. Welcome back, everybody, to game number 2 of the March 2018 Learning 5 Staff Show Match. My name is Jump, your play-by-play, and the color, Mr. Brian Blaster Boy, XL5's member. As we're already seeing the 5 stacks coming in, are we going to see the level 1 Tango? Please let us do.
Really hope that we do. I don't know if they're just waiting in the bush or not there. So they can't really charge into that, try to cut them off on their way back out.
Level ones for this, there isn't a lot of crazy CC. I mean, unless the Vel'Koz decides to pop his knockup or something. Oh, this is where it could get scary, though.
They've got to respect the Karma, too. Karma's going to do so much damage.
Do they want it? Do they want it?
Panties. They don't have any. They had a Thresh.
Panties.
They had a Thresh or something. Yeah, too, but if they had a Thresh or something, they may have been able to make that happen, but it's just a bit too much of a risk for everyone without having any reliable CC.
Oh, buddy. This is going to be a good one. We have, from last game to this game, 8 new champions. So we're going to see completely different champions, completely different compositions. You're going to see bottom side starts for both junglers, both Oscar and Jif are going to be starting on the red and their blue buffs respectively, which is going to create some very interesting timers on the top side, considering what we have with these two 80 carries in Meowing Cat and Sidecar.
Yeah, from what I've noticed, I don't know what the super high level reasoning, if there is any, is for jungle starts this season, but
yeah,
at least in solo queue and stuff like that, in games that I've been playing and games I've been watching, I've seen a lot of bot side starts just so that duo can get that leash pretty quickly. It's more effective, I feel, than just a single top lane. It's a little bit faster. I feel like that's most of the reason that they go for it. There might be something else going on, but I've just noticed a lot of junglers starting bot side recently, so I'm not too surprised to see that. But it definitely is a point of contention with, again, both these junglers being able to get into ganks so quickly and effectively with both of these vulnerable skirmishing ADCs up in the top lane.
We are now hitting the level 3, so everybody's going to have all of their skills ready to go. I really want to see how Voisu is going to be able to play this Veigar coming into this match, explicitly because if he times things correctly, he should be able to potentially either bait out the ultimate in Iberia or something of the sort. As we can see, Sidecar and Meowing Cat already tangling himself. Ooh, that was a flash, but he doesn't have an ignite to finish him off. That's going to be a flash down from Meowing Cat, which is going to be a huge summoner spell if Sidecar can take advantage.
Yeah, but he is going to get ganked by the Hecarim here.
Oh, this
already popped.
He's got the... Oh, is he going to be able to pick up the kill? You got the reset. Oh, the last auto attack of the tower. Sidecard's gonna get his revenge, but that's gonna be Meowing Cat being able to pick it up. So all in all, it was a nice little buff transfer and things going in favor as Phantom Blubber is gonna go in. Reese, I don't know if you want to be able to finish this off. It was the Ignite being pulled down by the Vel'Koz. The 0 to hero is gonna walk away safely, and that's gonna be all the summoner spells up for them as Sidecard's gonna teleport back to lane. But I don't think he's going to be able to do much as Meowing Cat. Oh!
Oh, the Ardent Blaze!
My God.
You do not see Ardent Blaze getting kills every day. That was... Okay, how much damage does that do? I've got to check now. 85 magic damage.
It's one way to do it.
That's a fadeaway.
It is.
That was
the true definition of a fadeaway. And Sidecard, now that he's able to pick up that kill, yes, while obviously Kasai has a lot of damage that we have been seeing, you still cannot discount the full rotation of skills that Lucian can pull out, especially when he was able to go back and instead of going for the sustainability route, like what Meowing Cat did with the Vamp Scepter, he decided to go double longsword, which is going to give him that extra attack damage to really pop off and put that extra pressure onto that top laner.
Yeah, we saw it pay off there. Just a little bit of extra AD ended up making all the difference in the end, rather than going for a Vamp Scepter or anything of the like, anything of that sort. I don't know exactly what he's going to build. I don't know what Lucian's actually build at the moment. I wanted to say Ghostblade, but lethality isn't really a thing right now that I'm aware of, unless something has changed again. It came back for a bit with Jhin.
I think it's going to be one of those, let's just wait and watch.
Yeah.
Because we are in the same boat as the spectators in the sense of we don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if they know what's going to happen, to be quite honest. Stun's going to come out on the Nigeria.
Yeah, and at this point, Sidecard is in a really, really good spot on this Lucian. You see him just constantly pushing Meowing Cat further and further under this turret. And not really going to be anything that he can do because Lucian is a fairly short-range ADC, but Kai'Sa's even shorter once again. I mean, I mentioned before, she plays very similarly to Vayne in my opinion, but she has 75 less range than Vayne, I believe, or something like that. She has a lot, even shorter range than Vayne is, but here we see an engaged bot.
That was a ballsy move by Jiff. He used the flash taunt, but the taunt's only going to give a half a second stun, so it's not enough for his teammates to catch themselves back up. So that's going to be a flash being blown. He did blow the flash from 0 to hero, but now Oscar's coming back into the top side. Meowing Cat is 6. Sidecard, I don't think he's going to be able to have the damage to do this. You're going to see the ultimate come out, but it's not going to be enough. However, kill doesn't go into the hands of Meowing Cat. It does go over onto Oscar, which could be argued is pretty good, especially considering the fact that level 6 spike is a huge boost in Hecarim's skill set.
Yeah, definitely. And any successful gank, being able to take that, again, gonna go back to that point one more time of how quickly and effectively these junglers are going to be able to gank because of them just being able to pop a bunch of, drop a bunch of movement speed, basically, and just run right up to you at any point. Oscar's gonna be able to take that sort of lead and be able to turn that into something else, or hopefully. We'll have to see how effective he's going to be able to be with that. And Meowing Cat's still not getting too insignificant of a buy, as it does look like we're actually going to see Blade of the Rune King coming first for both of these top lane ADCs.
It's going to be a little bit of a tango of the support. Phantom Blubber is here. I think he's just waiting to bait out. Oh no! But he ends up auto attacking. Oh! The bounce! I don't think that that's what you're wanting to do. I think there's going to be a little bit of fighting and communications as Reese ends up popping the blast cone, or the blast flower, to pop over the wall, forces himself to then Valkyrie back, and it ends up allowing the bounce of Jhin to end up killing Vel'Koz. That is an unfortunate situation.
Oh man, that is the worst way to die. Like when somebody runs up to you with a zillion bomb, you're like, wait, no, run, get away. You're not supposed to run into the wave. Don't let them push the wave. Don't get me killed for free, please.
All right, we need to have another let's educate jump moment, though.
Okay.
Brian,
Yep.
What are the numbers by the trinkets, and why do they exist?
Vision score.
Okay.
I added the stat, vision score. I don't know how it's tracked. I had a big article explaining it. I never got around to reading it. It was something that we were tracking in post game, and now it's just something that displays on trinkets in the middle of the game. It just shows
Okay,
how
so-
effectively you're placing and clearing wards.
So
Basically,
whoever has more higher numbers wins, right?
basically, yeah.
Something like that. Well, it looks
Something
like
like
it's
that.
going to be the battle of the.
Ooh.
Wow. See, so this
Jeez.
is what Jif was wanting to do. This is where the Rammus comes into play because you have very high damage individuals in every single one of your lanes, both AD carry and support included. If Jif is able to get a taunt down, they can single target focus anyone that they want down on the entirety of the SBN team. So that's something that they're going to be looking forward to do the entirety of the match.
Basically, and now we see the conversion onto Dragon. There is room for a steal here. We'll have to see. Jif is incredibly low, and here we go.
It's going to be an immediate red dragon being taken down there on by Niberia, and this is where things are starting to get a little fancy in the favor finally of Team Tilty Boys. They able to pick themselves up, but you do have the Meowing Cat coming down. The curtain call is going to come out too to try to get themselves off, but that's going to be everybody out of range. So you're going to have the Dragon going over in favor of Team Tilty Boys, but it's going to be the 2 kills that are going to go over in favor, as well as the blown teleport by Meowing Cat for the side. But they give themselves a turret.
No, that was Niberia teleporting top. Actually,
Oh,
Meowing
it
Cat
was.
teleported down to bot. It was
Yes,
Niberia
yes.
burning his TP up to a minion.
Misclick,
Interesting
boys.
decision. Yeah.
It's gonna be it's gonna
Oops.
blame it on keybinds, right? That's the
Somebody
that's the
must
way
just
that's the way
swap
they
his
do it these
keyboard
days.
when he wasn't looking. Yeah, I don't know. A
I
real
don't
way
I
to
don't
just
think any
find
of
out.
us
Ooh.
know. I don't think any of us. I think that's why we don't
Yeah.
cast League of Legends anymore. Because we just don't know. 10 minutes in the game, we're sitting at 5-4 to the score. We're at roughly 200 gold separating the two teams, which at the 17-minute mark was 6,000 in favor of SBN. So already it's starting to look like it's going to be a much more even matchup. And I think a huge proponent of that is strictly based on people just don't have any champions left in their pool to play.
I mean, if you're playing, in the case of Meowing Cat, we see a bit of a duel up here, actually.
Oh, so
Here we go.
Yeah, it does seem like he wants to have something to do, but he is caught between a rock, a hard place, and a very angry armadillo. As Oscar, though, is going to come up to try to help himself out. He's going to get the damage on the side card, forcing the flash out of Meowing Cat. Meowing Cat wants to try to push it, but there's an ultimate of Jip. I don't think this is going to be the best one for you. It's going to be a lot of damage. Meowing Cat is going to go down. Oscar is going to be forced to horsey run away, and that is going to be what seemed like a great rebuttal from the side of SBN. It ends up not working out in their favor at all.
And Oscar getting chased down. Ew,
Hello?
so fast.
Oscar, buddy, come on now. Oh, it does look like there's going to be a little bit of an extra fight there. Dr. Voice is going to blow up side card, but it doesn't look like he's going to be able to get away. Niberia as well as Jeff have just a little much. You're going to have the little Zonia's ultimate pulled out there on that stopwatch. It's not going to be enough. Cosmic Depression is coming in to help out, but I don't think he has quite enough damage. Meowing Cat, though, does decide to join the fray. The auto attacks are going to come out. There's the little speed up from the Karma, but it's going to be a runaway moment as Jif is going to get himself away. But now, if one's going to fight, they're all going to fight. It's not fun any other way. The flash is going to be burnt out, but there's too much range and way too much. Oh, no! Oh, no.
Oh, genius teleport.
Oh, no. Feels bad, man. Zero to hero. Going to be forced to go. There isn't that much mana on Get Me Fed, but he is going to have enough. He might try to go in to try to at least give the kill over to the support. He does.
Yeah. And no
But
assist
still,
either.
No, but that's still a lot of damage, and we all know what a Vel'Koz can do with that poke.
For sure. It's still not ideal to not get the execute there. That's ideally what he was looking for, but the fact that Reese didn't even get an assist is pretty impactful, I feel, as he's already down 400 gold. He's already down in CS. He's already down in kills here. So Reese is not in the best spot right now, and that's with first turret advantage on his team as well. So Meowing Cat getting dove mid.
Yeah, there wasn't even a question. Both members hit the go button immediately, and that's a lot of single target damage. And this is what they bring to the table. They have high damage carries that can focus down single targets very quickly. And so if SBN are going to be able to want to get themselves back in this fight, or back in this battle rather, 2,500 gold, they're going to have to get themselves grouped up, and they're going to have to get themselves in a little bit better positioning with these team fights.
Absolutely, and this turret not Probably not going to be the best hill to die on, but they're going to make it happen.
Oh, this is a clown fiesta if we ever saw one. The word got banned from Riot LCS, but it's back in Learning Fives as Reese is going to get that last big missile to kill off the members, but he's still going to be able to get himself a kill in the matter. Sidecard's going to go up, but he's going to run in another 1-for-1. That's going to be a 3-for-2, though, in favor of Team Tilty Boys. And so slowly but surely, they pulled 2.5 to 1,000. Reese does have a lot of damage. Oh, nice little stutter step. And again, Jif coming in for the battle. This is non-stop action. I was not expecting to have that much of a voice. Oh no, Reese! Reese, I am the carry now. No longer so. As Meowing Cat's gonna throw the thumbs up and a thank you, ma'am. As Corky's gonna have to go back and fix his shit because it is down for the count and on the gray screen.
Oh man, yeah, what a crazy game. Reese a little bit baited there, not realizing that Cosmic had that heal available for himself. He also had the shield as well, so ultimately a pretty big overestimation from Reese on how much damage he had and how little health Cosmic actually had in reality there. But nonetheless, he does end up going down, and that's just been the story of this game, really. A lot of people just going back and forth. And we look at the number of kills. I mean, we're at 21 in 14 minutes. It's not the craziest game that I've ever seen, but still pretty high up there in the package.
21 almost turned to 22. Cosmic Depression being forced to flash over the wall. Wasn't necessarily exactly where you wanted it to be. As now Sidecard's going to, you were wondering what he was going to be building with those long swords, and it is the Blade of the Rune King, and Sidecard's going to pick up a nice little kill onto Oscar there, and these members getting in and out of where they aren't supposed to be, probably going to be the worst effort. That's going to be a curtain call to get everyone away. Voisu, does he want to pop up the damage? No, he doesn't want to do it. I think it would have been smart to pop the ultimate there, to be quite honest, because it forces out the ultimate Eye Myriad. It still gets forced out anyway, but regardless, being able to just cancel that off your own volition makes things a lot easier. You can see the pings coming out for the Mountain Drake, as that's next on the menu with Oscar coming back alive. He's going to be horse stampeding back in, but I don't think it's going to be enough. They might decide to just back off on this. I don't know.
Jeff can't really tank this. That's the big hang up here. Gotta be kind of careful. Arma steal. Oh, she got it.
Nice little steal. The fadeaway kill from Sidecard earlier. The rebuttal fadeaway from Cosmic Depression. And this is where things... try as you may, try as you might. Today is not their kind of night. I don't know. I tried to rhyme. It didn't work. Yeah, I'm getting a pat on the shoulder.
Pretty good. Man, I can't believe that actually worked out for Cosmic. Honestly, I saw him looking for it. They were trying to pull it out of the pit, but they kind of gave up halfway through. They thought, oh no, it's fine. We don't have to worry about this. No way the Karma will be able to get it. No smite dropped. I ever saw it. In any case, the Karma gets it at the end of the day. And now Voisu looking for Sidecard here.
It's going to be a nice little combo. I don't think you're going to be able to have this one, buddy. Oh, Voisu! I don't know why he tried to stay in there. He gets in a nice little fade onto it, but all the rather, you're going to see Oscar and Get Me Fed trying to go in. It's going to be a teleport coming out of Meowing Cat. Oscar's going to be forced to back away, but regardless, they're still going to have a very low damage.
Oh my gosh.
Rift Herald does go down onto the favor of the red team. Meowing Cat's going to be forced to go away, but he's going to get taunted up by Jif. That's going to be a very dead Kasai. Oscar going to be forced to recall. And messy, but just by the skin of their teeth, members of TTB end up getting themselves up.
Yeah, and they're able to take away that whole fight completely stemmed off of the Herald, and man, and TTB, they're able to steal it away. They secure the Eye of the Herald. They're going to drop it mid, and the Herald is basically just a free turret whenever you want it. It might not get it on this exact push, but because their minion wave is a little bit behind, it's getting poked out a bit here. Not going to be its most effective, but still stealing that away. And most importantly, if we look at that as a free turret, and regardless of when they get this turret or not, it doesn't really matter because they're taking away a free turret from the opposing team when they're already behind. 2,000
gold, though, at the 18-minute mark is nowhere near the 6,000 gold deficit that was previously functioned. Now, you take a look at the composition, obviously, that you have for the side of Team Tilty Boys. While it does do a lot of damage, which we are seeing as a very important factor, you still have to take into consideration the team fighting ability that you do have on the opposite side of the team.
Yeah, and I want to point out real quick, this Vhagar is going to be pretty scary. He went Spellbinder first, so that's a new item. Don't panic.
Yeah. All right. Jump
So,
one of our League
right.
of Legends 202. I feel like I've graduated to the 200 levels. What are we doing now?
So Spellbinder basically it stacks up to 100, very similarly to like the Shiv or something like that. But it stacks off of spells being used near you. You using spells or enemies or allies using spells.
We might have to pause on the
yeah.
educational lesson as it looks like you're going to have another 1-for-1 being pulled out. Oscar is going to end up getting killed. Oh no, he's barely going to be able to run it. Is it going to be the last ticks? It's not. That slow isn't going to be enough, but it is going to be the last minion auto attack, the caster minion throwing the long ball. And it's going to end up taking down, so that's going to be a 2-for-1 in favor. You're now going to be able to see the dives here. Jiff does have a lot. He's got that Bramble Vest as well as the Cinder Hulk, so it's going to be doing a nice little bit of damage. But, oh, just like that. Oh, the Ignite as well as the tower shots. No matter how powerful you may be, you're not going to be as strong as that tower.
Here we go. Spellbinder running, and that is...
deleted.
Yep.
bo3 made things out. You still have the ultimate available in Iberia. How many stacks do we have? Let's actually take a look at this. How many stacks do we have for Vhagar right now? He's at 155 stack, 157 rather. So he's still getting himself stacked up. And the later that this game goes, the more powerful that's going to be. Those Qs going to be doing a heck of a lot of damage.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he still has a ton of room to grow, but even 150 AP is a lot for this early in the game. That's a lot of gold, effectively. So real quick, go back to Spellbinder before it gets away from us here. It stacks up to 100. The more it's an active that gives you movement speed and AP, depending on how many stacks you have. So
okay, got it.
Basically, we saw him pop it there. He was glowing kind of weird as he ran down to bot lane. He was moving really fast, and he had a bunch of extra AP. Right now, he has 19 AP. It's 1 AP per stack, basically, up to 100. So it's a very significant chunk of damage, especially for somebody like Vhagar, as the game goes on.
So this is where you talk about game going on. This is where things are really going to start getting interesting for both of the teams. You've got 70 seconds on the third dragon. We can take a look at it and see that it is going to be an Ocean Drake. And you also have a look at the fact that we are past the 20-minute mark, which means Baron's on the table. But meanwhile, it's another form of the catch-out, something that we've seen both teams and almost every member fall prey to. Kasai picking up that kill on the side card. Niberia and bo3 are going to be tangoing. You still have the ultimate available by Niberia. He's going to be forced to do so, but that ultimate gets expelled on by bo3 as well. So now it is a battle of the AP mids. bo3 being forced to run away. He's going to get caved upon. He's going to try to go back. I don't think he's trying to schedule the ultimate. Doesn't decide to do so. He's still got 33% or 67% rather left on the ultimate. Going to be forced to flash over the wall. Is there a Valkyrie? No, there's not. Reese learned his lesson. Oh, but he's still going to get himself stunned out. Lots of damage being done. Gosh, the fighting never stops.
And in the meanwhile, tier 1 top falls, so that closes up that gold lead a little bit more. And now we're back to 1.5k, basically. I mean,
it's been less than 2.5k. His voice is going to go down to severe mispositioning as the Vel'Koz, the very fed Vel'Koz rather, is going to be able to pick up that kill. But you're right. The skill discrepancy is very subjective. The gold discrepancy is very objective, and it has been less than 2,500 for the last 12 minutes. So despite the fact that kills are going back on them back and forth, SBM are making sure that they're not falling further behind than what they previously were at any point in time. And if you can get this, but
2 ADCs.
Sneaky. You did have the ward being pilled out. Yeah, you can see it being done on the banana bush at the top. You're having the teleports coming out by Kasai. That Baron is going down very quickly, just under 2.5 KP. You've got the TPs. The Curtain's Call is going to try to have it. Niberia is going to go down, but the Baron is being stolen. Can anybody get out alive? Doesn't look like it's going to be so. You're going to have 3 members going down. Sidecar going to be doing the one-on-one versus the bo3. He's going to be able to pick up that kill, but the ultimate or the skill was hit by Meowing Cat. I don't know what it does, but it does mean an opportunity that mobility could help out. Meowing Cat and Cosmic Depression. Sidecar going to try to juggle these super minions to try to make something. He's going to be able to pick up that kill. Is he going to be able to get a second one? You're going to have the bob and weave, the little brush. He's not going to be able to see him in the bush. But regardless, they're going to get out alive. And just like that, do you have the Baron? Yes, you still have Baron left on Vel'Koz, but all the rather, It's still a pretty solid setup for the members of SBM as they are able to get most of the kills and most of the efficiency of that Baron finished off.
Yeah, but again, at the end of the day, the gold lead still doesn't go above 2.1k. After all of those kills come through off the back of the Baron, still nothing really changes in terms of gold lead. That one Baron buff is going to have to be used really effectively.
If anything, they closed the gap. It was at 2.6 before the fight started, and now it's at 2.1, 2.2. So by and large, they're still keeping themselves off. And as we talked about, the later this game goes, let's do a quick little check on Voisu. 176 extra ability power. So that Q is going to be the Baleful Strike. Plasma Fission. That's what it's called, right? Yeah. No, Jesus, Voisu. Baleful Strike is still going to be doing a solid, 471 damage, which is a lot to pull off in only 24 minutes in.
And W hits pretty hard.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to be... He's able to dodge the Q out, but it doesn't matter. Sidecard, he's building the auto attack base. It's the Korean build that we saw from Season 5, and there's nothing that you can do with it if he's ahead and you don't have the burst damage to follow suit.
Yeah, and the build that Meowing Cat went for, unfortunately, doesn't really allow... hold that thought. Here we go.
But I think that they want to do it. Oscar comes in with the ultimate, fearing everybody away, but he needs to end up running away and fear himself as he doesn't have all 5 members of the team with him. It's going to be a blue inner turret on the bot side destroyed. The Baron is almost completed on the Vel'Koz, so they're not going to have too many more opportunities to push onto this mid side of the map. But Sidecard is doing everything he can just out of range of the Karma. Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Jeff, please.
Was the attempt? Oh, Niberia diving in now. Man, this is crazy.
Yeah, there's no rhyme, there's no reason, there's no schedule, there's no format. It's just, hey, I want to press my abilities, I want to press some buttons and hope to God I can get some kills. As it looks like Niberia is going to try to get off. It's going to force the it's going to force the heal, but as well as his ultimate to back themselves off as the final pieces of that Baron are ticking down, and they're going to have to be forced to reset themselves. They get a turret, get a little bit of a lead. 2,000 gets expanded to 4,000, so you're still seeing advantages onto the side of Team Tilty Boys, but they still have a lot of ground to cover if they want to even out this match.
Yeah, something that came to mind before, because I'm checking now, it varies by build. With Kai'Sa, something I realized... Oh, never mind. Hold that thought.
Talk about the Kai'Sa. She's trying to try to get the damage. I don't think she has enough for it. No, she doesn't. The auto attack of the little rocks help themselves out. But there's going to be a curtain call. Going once, going twice, going third. It's not going to be a beautiful display. You might be playing in the opera sometime soon, but it is not going to be on Broadway.
So, as I was trying to say before with the Kai'Sa, a mechanic I realized I never mentioned prior.
Oh, yeah? You're leaving out mechanics now?
Well, I haven't explained anything with Kai'Sa to you yet. I'm surprised.
I don't either. I just see ability.
Yeah. So
every once in a while she gets a kill, 4 times specifically in this game, and that's about all I got right now.
One of the really cool things that Kai'Sa can do is when she hits a breakpoint of 100 bonus... 100% bonus attack speed, 100 bonus AD, or 100 bonus AP, she can upgrade either her I think in the order that I said it, E, Q, or W. Kind of like an evolution, like Kha'Zix has. Get Me Fed, completely gone again.
Yeah, he did, and Voisu laughed himself all the way to the bank with that one as well, which is, I think, the greatest part. Because while this is obviously, super serious, we're in the game, it's also, having some fun. And anytime you can kill your fellow staff members and get a laugh out of it, that's going to be a beneficial moment.
Absolutely. I really want to see this Veigar just run into a fight with Spellbinder and just pop someone from like half health, but we're not quite at those levels of AP yet. I mean, he's already at 475. If we compare that to Niberia, who's at 224. That is a really significant difference, and that's without the Spellbinder pop. Which gives him a bonus 100.
125% the AD that Niberia has. It's absolutely crazy. His sidecard's going to be forced to throw that ultimate out and run away. Voisu, despite the fact that it is a Veigar, in the same vein, he does still have the knockdown. Jiff going to run into the minion. No. Not able to get that taunt off. That's going to be a little extra damage. Voisu going to be forced to flash because that's a lot of damage coming out of that Lucian.
Yeah. Yeah, and you mentioned that he went for the attack auto attack focused build before, and this is like a really good skirmishing build as well. The Phantom Dancer, the Blade of the Ruin King, the Black Cleaver all allow you to really just focus on one or two people, and you take less damage from them thanks to the Phantom Dancer. You do way more as zero to hero.
That was a very quick death there.
And
as Oscar is trying to help, and this is, again, he's using that ultimate to engage without his team, which is not working in any form or fashion of their favor. 5,000 gold lead in the favor now for Team Tilty Boys. It's going to be the top turret go down. Voisu's going to try to get it off, but that's going to be the QSS to throw the way. And before he gets a chance to get off full combo, Sidecard's going to end up taking that victory as well as his death.
funnily enough, we kind of saw, at least my directed camera, jump back up there for a moment where we saw Sidecard stunned. He actually didn't cleanse anything with the QSS. He didn't get hit by the wall in the first place. But
hey man, it was a preemptive cleanse. If it would have hit him, the timing would have been accurate enough, correct?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, see, that's all that matters.
That's all that counts.
Oh, yeah, there's the mobility that we were talking about. Auto attack, dead Corki.
And that's the kind of burst you can expect from a Kai'Sa, you know, when he's not facing somebody like a Lucian who can just go toe-to-toe with her and turn it around. If it catches someone off guard especially, she is able to execute on a play like that incredibly quickly. We see Jif getting chased down now. Sidecard looking for the flank back in. Meow and Cat trying to turn it around.
Oh, missed the auto attack, but it doesn't matter. He's able to get just enough. Niberia wants to get the extra, but he's forced to recall out of there. Niberia is going to still go down because Kasai does way too much damage that we don't know where it comes from. And all the rather, he's still going to go back to the gray screen. Vel'Koz is going to go down as well. And this is a great opportunity for the revival. You've got Jif and Panda Blubber that's up, but you still got 35-second death timers on the other 3 members. So 30 minutes into the game, this is going to be the resurgence attempt by the side of Blue to try to get themselves a Baron. Jif, he's got himself out. Cosmic Depression is going to try to get the stun. It's going to go through, but the blue team is still able to take it away. They're going to get both kills as well. And so that's going to be a clean ace. 20 seconds still left for Get Me Fed and Sidecard. And just like that, everything that seemed was going to be going into the favor of Team Tilty Boys gets turned right on its head. And SBN pull themselves within 2.5 thousand gold, but more importantly, the pushing power of the Baron.
Yeah, and they have complete freedom to push out of their base here because now that they have the Baron, now that they're in this position where they still have 20 seconds before everybody's back on the map, at the very least, respawn to the fountain to start, they're able to push out. They haven't lost any inhibs. They have a complete freedom to leave their base. They're not restricted or confined in really any way, but we're still not seeing a big focus push for them quite yet. They're not feeling like they're quite in the position that they want to be able, they can really make something like that happen. So they will just kind of sit back, take the combat power, the advantage that gives them in these fights. As I think that the stats from the Baron buff will pretty much make up that entire gold deficit. And
it does, but the issue is that they don't have a front line. They don't have any way outside of the AoE stun coming out of Voisu, as well as Oscar to separate themselves from the back line. And with Oscar actually deciding to go himself for that Triforce, which I don't necessarily agree with, you've got way too many damage dealers. Just go for straight tank and just be the meat shield for your team in the front. Even if you die a lot, it doesn't matter. That's just essentially what you need to do. And so with the lack of front line, there's not too much they can do. As Jif now not going to get stunned up, so he's not going to do as much, they're not going to get done as much damage to him as what the other team was hoping for. But this is the pushing that you were talking about. Meowing Cat and Sidecard, they both have teleport, so they're allowing themselves to handle on the split push. But this is where things are going to get scary if Sidecard or Meowing Cat are able to take down their lane opponent, because any sort of team advantage, whether it be a 3v4, a 4v3, a 5v3, if they can get themselves any sort of offset numbers, that's where these are really going to turn on a head explicitly with the amount of damage that everybody's pumping out.
Yeah, and I want to point out real quick, we have Rageblade Jhin, and also Voisu has broken 600 AP.